Hello, everybody. Welcome to season 4 of Shooting the Shift. We've made some changes. Bryn is busy doing Bryn things, so he's not with us anymore. And Matt is busy doing Matt things and helping organize Formula G. So he's chilling doing other stuff. So now we've got guest hosts every episode. This season we're gonna do one episode a month. Because we need to sort out guest hosts every single time we do it. And Milton's back because he is basically, I don't know, my pet dog at this point. And we're joined by Hannah from JD Motorsport. Chris Purvis, who I always call Chris Purvis on live streams, was meant to
I
be
did
joining us
read his
tonight.
name as Chris Perbs.
Was meant to be joining us tonight, but unfortunately he's had something come up, so he'll be joining us on another episode. And what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to talk about what's been going on for the last 12 months in the car scene and all the weird stuff we've seen. I'm going to open the bidding with water bottles stop you braking and driving properly.
Was that only in the past year?
I'm sure that was in the last 12 months.
I feel
Sure,
like
That was
that
last
feels.
season because I did a very quick rush design for Mark Safe from water bottles as a sticker.
that feels so much longer ago than in the past 12 months.
I'm
Yeah.
sure it's the past 12 months.
You are getting old, so your memory is going.
Yeah, I am getting old now. I understand that I am now the oldest person on the podcast because Grandad's not with us anymore, despite always being the oldest person on the podcast.
I'm gonna say, does that make me the second oldest now?
How old are you now?
You
Don't
should
ask a
never
lady
ask a
there.
lady. I'm
Not
32.
asking a lady, I'm asking you.
32.
So yes, second.
Yeah, yeah, because
I'm
Milton's
32 this year.
12. He's not even. He can't grow a beard because he's not started puberty yet.
That's all I get.
So what's happened in the last 12 months? Well, I took a year out. Well, I took but yeah, we've been off the air for nearly a year and a half, haven't we now, Milton? Yeah, so I took some time out because my head was tapped. Then what happened? Then the
Went to
stage.
Autosport.
I did. I went to Autosport. I was in the NEC at Autosport. My car was on display and stuff, like a real boy, like someone who the car community respects or something.
Show car.
With a beautifully fixed boot lid.
Hey, look, it's not my fault that I missed a bit and the rust is back. So yeah, so the stage has got to go somewhere to be fixed. So that's Hannah's problem. Milton did some driving or something.
I got my car back.
Yeah, with
Very
its
happy.
neon pink livery again.
Yeah.
It
New.
could.
Well, it's actually the Uccello
Oh, okay.
kit, which
Right,
translates as Firefly in Italian,
right.
and
Okay.
it's made by Firefly, obviously. So, yeah, it was the first time out at Far Show 2 weekends ago.
How was it? Was it because it's longer in the nose now, isn't it?
I don't think it is because it's a standard, but or it might only be a few. But I didn't notice it. I was still getting close to things and
That's all right then. So you've not vaporized this one the day you've had it.
have cracked the paintwork. But that wasn't my fault. That was just it happens and bodywork moves when you're drifting at different conditions compared to fitting it in a workshop when the car's perfectly still is slightly different.
Maybe we should try and fit a front bumper when drifting. Ratchet strap me to the car and I'll.
But I do know a guy that can change a tire while doing a donut. So
What?
yeah,
What?
you know Terry Grant
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
on
Oh
his pit
yeah.
on his Legend, he can do a donut and change the front left wheel.
Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah, I'm willing to accept that.
that.
He's got a Guinness Book of Record for it.
What, for the number of tires changed whilst doing a
Or
donut?
just
What?
changing the quickest, I think.
There can't be many
I feel
people.
like it would be more impressive if you did it then.
What, just ratchet strapped to Milton's bonnet trying to change a front bumper over.
Yeah.
This
Consider
is
it's a consider it's a clamshell one piece kit. You'll have a pretty good. You'll struggle.
I mean, Milton can drive whilst doing press ups on the roll cage, so
Yep, that's been done. I can
like
walk
that
the
means he
car.
doesn't need to be able to see out the window, so we can just ratchet strap me across the glass.
What I want to try is where you block the windows off from the inside, but
Yeah.
then I've got GoPro or goggles on that's a drone that's above the car.
Oh, like first person view. That'd make me feel so sick.
Yeah, I
We
think that'd
could
be a
we
lot.
could we could come up with a way to do that. I'm down to strap your car. We probably don't want to use your competition car for
We'd
that.
have a big open space. It'd be really,
What you're saying is you want us to create IRL Assetto Corsa for you.
yeah.
Okay.
Go with. I've seen
When
it
we
done
have the
before.
workshop, there's a nice little lap like round the other units that we definitely don't drift.
Never.
So never until it's like 11 o'clock at night and we have to do some serious last minute BDC testing. But yeah, will you bring it down? We'll just do laps of the yard, first person view.
I mean, that might be a bit sketchy, but we could do it anyway for content.
Content's content, right?
For the gram.
It feels bad that 20 quid's 20 quid has just become content's content.
We're glossing over that PG channel.
Hannah's working that out in her head now.
No, not at all.
So yeah, so what else has been going on? What else has been going on? My stuff still isn't here from Japan.
Hands quite far away, mate.
I know.
Boats are
Can you
slow.
deliver on it walking?
No, a man on the docks in Japan didn't put my stuff in the shipping container. He put it in the next shipping container. So it'll be here. I should have the brakes for the spike next week, which is really good because the squeak is real now. Under heavy braking. Yeah, so the spike's getting Project New braking parts.
Would we expect anything else from you?
It may also be getting VIP trays.
Again, my previous comment still stands.
And the stage is getting a pair of Bride Eurosters.
Before you fix the rust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Logic?
I mean, I ordered them so that
It also got new wheels before the rust got fixed.
Sure.
And it got a new clutch before the rust got fixed.
Yeah. Because
So
the
rust
rust is like, I'm going to have to hand Hannah like a bag of cash, right?
Yeah, I want it to turn up in like a suitcase to go with your VIP trays.
Yeah.
Oh, can you wear a pinstripe suit at the same time?
We'll do a whole bit of content just on the way I
No,
deliver
it needs to be in a brown bag with the dollar sign on it, and so he looks like the guy from Spyro.
I'll either dress up full
Money
Yakuza
bags
style or just roll in like a bandit mask and a stripy t-shirt with a bag.
With like a swag bag.
Yeah.
Orange jumpsuit.
No, mate, I don't suit orange jumpsuits. But yeah, so it's been a weird year. It's been a really weird year. We obviously, like a couple of months ago, people have seen on social media, we lost the office dog Luna. But in June, new office dog.
Cute. Can't wait.
Working title, meat sack.
VRS needs an office dog.
It always needs an office dog. We've launched a load of new stuff this year. So much so that I now officially need a bigger office because I've got nowhere to store the stock or the machines anymore.
We have just realised that we have run out of workshop space.
Because of all the parts or just too many cars?
Because of all the cars. We've got 3 S14s at the moment, 3 S14s in various stages of restoration. PS13, that's going to be baller because it's going on like 19s and air ride. A car that I'm not allowed to tell you. We've got an F-150 pickup that's having a diesel lump put in it and a 300-litre diesel tank. The 86, the 32 four-door. Oh, and we needed a new trailer, so I was left to buy a trailer, and we now have an Arctic parked outside.
Did you or did you not buy a trailer? Yes or no?
And my car needed. We ran out of space in the workshop.
No.
And I
Just
needed
answer the
somewhere
question. I'm on your
Yeah,
side. Did you buy a
Yeah.
trailer? Yes or no?
All I'm
Nobody
hearing now
specified of
is,
what size of a trailer I needed, other than I needed to fit my car on it.
but that means
Was
you
it-
can now come and pick up multiples of my cars in one go.
We could, but
She
I
needs
only
a
have the
license.
trailer unit.
Oh,
I haven't yet managed to accidentally buy a tractor unit.
And the license?
Well, I have plenty of friends that can drive tractor units.
I've just got
Or
visions.
I
I've
do it
just got
myself.
visions of Hannah screaming, "Let's go drive the tractor!"
Well, I'm in the right part of the country.
Country.
As much as I don't sound like it, I'm wonderfully.
Yeah, you traitor to the north, you.
Yeah, I know. Equally, I did go back home not long ago, and I was like, "Wow, it's grim up north."
It's not. It's great up north.
Yeah, but you're not proper north, though, are you?
Well, all right, not anymore. I'm moving further north. If I get the house I want. Oh yeah, there was a brief period where I nearly bought a workshop to live in.
I mean, why not?
10 car workshop with a 3-bed house on it.
I don't see a problem with that.
No, I don't see a problem with that either.
There was a problem. The person would not negotiate.
Shit in the letterbox then.
Yeah, and for the work that needed doing on it, I didn't fancy spending
The amount of
An
money.
extortionate amount of money.
north of $500,000 on it.
Yeah, but that's northern money, isn't it? You can buy a mansion in up in the north, but away from $500,000 gets a
$2
4-bed house.
That is an advantage of where I live. Like the houses are dirt cheap for what I'm looking at. So I'm going to be moving the office. The one that we think we want to get has a stock room as well as an office for me.
You still looking at the one you showed me?
No,
That has I like that one.
the one with the lake.
No, the other one with the
The
firehouse.
pigsty.
One that was an old workshop and had
Yeah,
petrol
that's
tanks.
the one I was just talking about.
Oh,
That she wouldn't negotiate. So inherited it and won't negotiate. She'd rather leave it empty and getting damp and stuff.
That's how I ended up buying my house 3 years later after it went on the market with free stubborn inheritance people that had inherited it. And I was like, I'm giving you this much money. And they were like, no.
That's the real difficulty, right, with houses now. And I know we're meant to be a car podcast, but this is going to loop back to cars. Is like finding somewhere I can put all the toys. Because I am really struggling to find houses with 2-car garages.
Yeah, and garages now seem to be either cars have got bigger, which I know they have, but garages seem, even in new builds, seem to be tiny.
Yeah.
I have
Like-
a single car garage, and I have the smallest car in that I can drift, and I have to park at one side of the garage to be able to get out the door.
Could you not drift? Could we not make a rear-wheel drive smart car and then you drift that?
They are wheel drive.
Are they?
Yeah.
What?
I mean, they've got about 4 horsepower, so I wouldn't really want to try drift it, but yeah.
I don't know. Peter
motorbike
Vinesek
engine.
drifts a Citroen Ami. He got a play car in. It's like a small Citroen. It's like this big.
Yeah, we all know drifting's not my thing. I get confused when he talks drifting. I don't understand it.
People say to me all the time, like, oh, what do you drift? And I'm like, nothing.
Around the workshop.
Like, my experience of drifting is, you could probably put it on the back of the stamp. Like, I'm not coordinated enough to drift.
My experience of drifting involved
Probably
Vinny
anything
into a tree. and
Oh,
you might have called it a complete loss of control.
I hit a signpost when I was 10 years ago. I'm old.
At the racetrack, yeah? Or was it a Mexican signpost?
That car's no longer exists, so it's not my fault anymore.
Is that
The
how it was?
signpost won.
Yeah, I hate it
We
when
have
the
we have
tree
other
buried.
sad news we should talk about.
What other news have we got?
Drift Games HQ.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
Your whole business, all your cars,
Like
not
2 days after you've just released your newest, biggest build. Like that's heartbreaking.
and they said that they was having an open day and they've just got all their merch ready, instead of leaving it lastminute.com, let's get things ready, pull it in the warehouse ready. Plus it's all he said he had every single lanyard to every single event he'd been to in there.
Yeah, like that is the one thing. Like I'm not scared of much apart from spiders and moths, but like the workshop burning down fills me with dread.
It's
Like
it's such a scary concept. Like
especially when it didn't even start in theirs, did it? It started
No,
further
it
on.
started because they were in like it's called the engine block, and it's like an L shape, and
Yeah.
they were on top floor on the right side. It started on the bottom floor on the left from what I've read, and it was a workshop fire. It was an accident. Like the guy tried to pull it out, and if he'd have been there any longer, he would have died from the fumes and stuff. And it took like 4 or 5 hours for it to spread from there to their unit.
Yeah,
But
like
they
it's just so sad, so heartbreaking. Like my heart goes out to like Dave and the gang. Like it's just like sucks.
yeah, they've released so if you go on to support those guys, they have released some new merch, haven't they? Like,
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah,
I've got one
they've also
waiting.
got it's all pre-order because obviously they've got no stock, and it's like it's we'll never give up, like, so it'll
yeah.
be like a quite almost like a bit of history of drift games. They're going to keep going, they're going to keep pushing. And I know we like VRS, we sell merch and we want people to buy our shit, like the
No,
t-shirts
I would
like
say
the
that
t-shirts behind BAM.
the original, that is the first ever t-shirt we screen printed on a homemade screen printer.
I've got mine somewhere. It's gone pink though.
Did you wash it with some red things, Melts?
Probably. But yeah, they've got some cool merch, and it's sort of like a you're investing in them getting back on. So
Yeah, go buy that, because secret announcement that I've got an announcement video to release on TikTok, but most of the TikTok viewers won't watch this anyway. We've got a new version of Burn Rower Not Witches coming. We've teamed up with my friend's business, Hex Coven. So they do all goth witchy designs. And our first ever crossover t-shirt is coming in the next couple of months. So go support Drift Games for 2 months, then bring your money back to me.
Yeah, go support someone else for a couple of months and then bring it all back.
Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, you get them in the car scene where it's like, I support this brand and only this brand. I just don't think that's a thing.
still don't really know what drifting is.
It's going sideways, going around corners slow.
I mean, it's fast around the track at some points, but anyway, we won't get into that.
It's going around corners slow, mate. That's what it is. With lots of style, very cool. Not putting down drifting drivers at all. Like really, really talented guys, but I'd rather go flat through a corner at 120, 130 mile an hour in the MX-5.
Like my homie Buzz Lightyear said, it's not falling, it's flying in style or something.
It's not flying, it's falling with style, I think is the
Yeah.
yeah.
We're not crashing.
There's a t-shirt, drifting, it's just falling with style.
Yeah. Crashing with style.
Yeah. But like, no, this, you get those accusations all the time across any business that someone's ripped off someone's design style or whatever. You see it all the time on posts. Speaking of which, there is a guy in Scotland who just ripped apart a little Yuri and put in a claim with PayPal to say that it arrived not fit for purpose. And you could see where he's prized open the box against the way we seal it in the photos and pulled all the circuitry out. So
I don't understand why people have got that much. Maybe I'm just not wired the same way. No pun intended. I just don't get it.
I genuinely don't get it. Like, There's some
Why would
custom
you spend
code on it,
money
and there's
on
a
it? Like you've spent money on it to rip it apart to then complain about it, and then I don't know.
Because it's not gonna work again if you've ripped it out. You're gonna get your money back anyway. So what have you gained out of that?
access to the board, and if you successfully manage to get the code off, good luck. Then you could replicate the product. That's the truth.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
that
the
makes a
only
lot of
reason I
sense
can
now.
think of that anyone would do that.
Kind of like copying someone's design. Well, I suppose that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And just
Cool.
changing
Yeah, and
the
we're
look,
not
whatever.
we're not the only company that make an ETC emulator. We're
I
probably
feel like I need one for my car when it's finally fixed.
well, I've got some genuine ETC cases in stock at the moment.
My car is a long way off needing fancy parts to it.
Yeah, it took me 2 years to get this batch.
Well, it's taken me 2 years to pull my engine out. I think.
It's taken me 6 years to get towards the MX-5 being ready for repair.
Well, that's why I ended up buying the trailer, because we ran out of space in the workshop and my car obviously wasn't first in line because we have very good customers that need work doing. And so my car is now stripped with all of its needing to go on a spit and be welded back together. But I have decided that I'm going to cut the roof off, kind of, out.
Remind for the other people, the viewers, what car do you have?
The one I'm talking about is a Suzuki Baleno hatchback.
So you're going to make the Baleno a soft top.
No,
I'm guessing it's gonna be like a T part.
No, I'm taking like Peden, obviously. He unfortunately, another backstory, like his car just set on fire, didn't it? Like that was like my idol car. And it's incredible. Was incredible. His new car is gonna be just as cool. And I said from the very first day that I met him and the car that I wanted clear doors because he's got clear doors and a clear roof. And I need to put a cage in my car, and it's a right faff to weld the top of a cage. So we're just going to cut the roof out.
Are you going to do the clear roof? You can do
kind of like Perspex, but it's not Perspex because you can't use Perspex, but like that. Or I'm
What
going to put
year?
carbon skin on
What
it.
year is it?
97.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
It's a proper granny car.
No, it's not. It's definitely not a new granny car now. I've bought a granny car to use the engine out of it.
What granny car have you bought?
I have just bought a Saab 9.3 convertible.
Oh, 2 litre inline 4 turbo.
Solid.
Yes.
That's solid play.
I've seen someone put them in an MX-5. That's a cool thing.
Well, I've had Saab powered Vauxhalls because obviously they all swap and change. And now I've decided that Vauxhalls are far too expensive to buy. So I'm no longer going to be playing with those anymore because I wanted a Corsa B, but I had my Jap car, so I thought I might as well stay kind of on brand.
Hang on, how Corsa B is expensive now?
Find me one that's not rotten for less than £1,000.
I think we have different budgets of what we call expensive.
Corsa B's back in the day were like 300 quid.
Yeah, no, there's
all cars from back in the day were like 300 quid.
But I'm just like I don't want one that much. I have a perfectly good-ish shell of my Baleno, so I'm gonna do that. And the best bit is it's gonna be 4-wheel drive.
Please tell me you're gonna lift it as well.
No, it's gonna be like proper Audi, boxy, wide body, like very 90s rally car-esque. Like it's just gonna be, but not tall, but like it's gonna be sick.
Street rally.
Wide and...
Do you remember seeing the Golf like last year that Maguire's might have done, the pink and black one?
No, because I tend to, for my sins, I tend to avoid Volkswagens at shows.
Well, I saw it and I was like, that's what I want my arches to look like because it was just like boxy and cool and.
But we don't talk about the other brand.
Oh no, I don't have anything of my battle of the detailing companies.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing I need to like figure out because I have started migrating away from my traditional local company a little bit recently.
Me and Milton will probably give you two very opposite ends of the spectrum of detailing products.
You will be pleased to hear that I'm using Forced from Starnagloss.
How good is it?
It's good. I've got
It
a
is quite
5 litre
possibly
jug of it.
it is quite possibly the best thing I've ever used.
It is a solid pre-cleaner, although I have to reseal the car every time.
But it makes your life a lot easier cleaning it.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. What didn't
Like,
make my life a lot easier cleaning the car last weekend was my I think there's a blockage in the pipes in my snow foam lens, so it's pulsing.
Uh,
like spaffing all over your
that
car.
and that's
Yeah.
not because it's not an organ one. That happens to all of them. It happened on mine.
Yeah, my old one did that.
You
After a
take it
few
apart,
years.
you look at it, and you're like, "There's nothing in it." You move like the tiniest stone or grit, and then it's working now.
That sounds about right. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out and pull it apart, see what's going on. But yeah, like it's been a I think next year could be probably not this season, but the season after 2025 season, I'll be back out a lot more. Because now we're gonna have like new puppy to get used to stuff. So there'll be a lot of little meets and caffeine and machine trips and stuff to get the dog used to modified car life when it arrives.
When you leave the house, you just need to put on like car meet leaving videos to get used
No,
to cars.
Like people train their dogs not to like fight to get used to fireworks. Just do it like that. Like just
yeah.
get it used to fiestas popping and banging.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still waiting to hear back, like if I'm in on the next litter for the breeder that I want to use. Because if I don't get, if we might, because this is a good one, best type breed of dog for taking to car shows.
Personally, I would say none of them because there's too many idiots at car shows, and I wouldn't want to put an animal. I don't want to put most people in car shows. Never mind animals that are a bit sensitive.
Yeah, I'm willing to accept that point. But
Depends on
if
the car
people
show.
weren't idiots,
It's a car show. Take it to Crufts if you want to take it for a day out.
you can't take a dog to Crofts anymore.
What? You can't take a dog to a dog show.
You can't take dogs into Crofts anymore. They've
Well,
banned it.
unless it's why? Unless it's an entrance.
Unless it's an entry, yeah, you can't take a dog into Crofts anymore.
That is basically what is wrong with the world.
Yeah. It's like the Kelsey Media argument for Jackfest last year of we put the ticket price up to discourage people bringing multiple cars to the show. That is a post
But,
they put out.
but it's a car show. Surely you want lots of people to take their cars.
No,
What
they
do?
want more people to turn up so they can buy the overpriced drinks
Yeah.
and they did it on a really hot day where there wasn't enough water for people and people were passing out.
Handy.
Yeah. Jackfest,
Like
Jackfest's genuinely off my calendar these days. I'm kind of over it. I like Yakushi. I like Mod Nats. I like camping with the crew because you can have like a couple of beers, especially when you're as dispersed around the country as our lot are.
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
nice
have
to
a
be able
couple
to,
of
like,
beers at Yukushi. Shut the front door.
To be fair, I didn't have a single beer at Yakushi last year.
Had petrol.
I had moonshine.
I've got more moonshine from Mod Nats this year.
I've moved on to like whiskey. I'm becoming a heavy whiskey drinker again.
An old man, that's why.
The new granddad.
Don't you dare start that.
I sense a slap coming. I'm gonna message Laura.
No, the new slaps are being designed. So we are working on a slap.
Could be Grand Bam.
Message.
Is Milton on it? Are you
He's already messaging my girlfriend to get her to design that.
it needs a little like
I am now gonna message. Don't fucking do it.
I'm gonna message her and be like, do it. You're outnumbered now. I don't care that your boyfriend, girlfriend writes outnumbered.
We're all messaging the same person. Laura's going to be getting a bit freaked out.
Yeah. So no, so the new slap design that we're working on is like a stained glass window that all 4 slaps fit together.
That's cool.
One design.
That's really cool.
Are
Which
they
is
gonna?
why
You're gonna put them that because usually you mount them.
they stack vertically.
Oh, I
Make it
see.
fine.
Could you not do it like incorporating like round or square ones as well? I know they're not slaps, just stickers in general. Like the UK coins make a crest when they're all together.
We could probably do something like that in the longer term, but we're not far off finishing it.
But you can always add to the design like other stained glass windows off the side of it. And eventually, your whole back window can just be a VRS stained glass effect.
It would be very cool, but I
And when
don't.
you collect them,
I don't.
when you get to the last one, you get it for free.
I think the sticker game's genuinely kind of dying, if I'm honest. We're selling fewer and fewer stickers and more t-shirts and caps and Sorakawas and
I think it is because it seems like the car scene has done like a full 360 and it's gone back to how it used to be many moons ago, where it was like clean cars wearing merch rather than wearing plain clothes with your car full of stickers.
yeah. I mean, my cars are still full of stickers, but
I don't have a single sticker on my car, mainly because there's nothing left of it, but
you have a secret stash of Violent Running stickers.
yes, I do. They're in my drawer somewhere.
Giggity.
They're in here.
Most of my stickers are actually on the inside of the windscreen.
That makes a lot of sense, so then they don't peel off.
Well, it's also because that's where I sit and I get to see them. So underneath the windscreen banner, I've got a selection of stickers that all, that all mean something to me.
Here they are.
Yeah, we've moved on to sealing those with the sticker seals now, rather than stamping McStamp stamp after that time I broke it on a live stream.
So this is even more rare.
Yeah.
So that
Get on Slap Club UK and sell the envelope.
I actually can't remember what stickers I have in here. I just know I have a collection.
What have you got? And I'll tell you if they still exist in stock.
My favorite sticker.
Yes. That's not in stock. That's sold out.
This one, obviously.
That's still in stock.
is that only pans?
That's still in stock. That's still in stock. That's a standard stock sticker. That's not a.
The
That's
Karen
out of
sticker.
stock. So you can't get the Karens anymore.
Sick. Well, I was going to put them on my sticker board that's up there outside, but I was like, no, these are too cool. I'm going to keep them in a drawer safe.
Yay, I've reached the status of some of the American sticker brands. Now I just need people to sell them for more money than they were sold for. And then we're there.
I've got a sticker bam. Do you want to buy it off me?
I've genuinely seen one of the brands in the States stickers that was released like 3 years ago go up for $50 for a slap.
I have just found another sticker in my drawer that
Right.
we might have to edit this out now. But I have just found this.
Yeah.
With the
Ah.
glittery
Talk
one.
about that.
That would be worth some money.
I didn't
Yeah.
even know I had it. Oh,
That's good. Craig at Violent D makes some really cool stickers, actually.
I literally only wanted it because it was glittery, obviously because it's me. And yeah, he's doing us some stickers soon.
Thanks,
When
mate. Appreciate that.
John sorted it. Don't blame me. John was talking to him about it because I don't even know what was going on with it. He might not even be doing it anymore.
Note to self: John gets a nut tap next time I see him.
I mean, he probably deserves one anyway. And he'll be like, "That's fine. Your bill has just gone up. Your hourly rate has just doubled."
Yeah, I'll wait till the car's finished.
Note to self: make sure Bam pays his bill first.
You know me, I'm good for the money. That's why it's not in yet, because I'm not good for the money right now.
And because we literally have no space.
But aren't
Yeah.
you a content creator, Bam, that you should get everything for free?
I don't believe in that mentality. Actually, that's an interesting thing to talk about. Like the way
You're
people approach
welcome.
sponsorship in the car community these days is really interesting.
We get so many messages. Can you do me some discount? And I'll tag you in some Instagram photos. You have 79 followers and your account's on private. No, sorry.
I had enough of it one day and I just replied to like 5 of them with just fuck off.
Like, I get that people are like, oh, you don't ask, you don't get. But like, come on, seriously, you've got 79 followers. 9 of them are like bot accounts. Like, not really that bothered.
Yeah, I don't. The thing is, I don't think like even Milton, right? Milton actually has a discount code for the website so he can order whatever the hell he wants under his sponsorship deal. And he doesn't use it.
I don't even know what it is.
But
Not because you haven't
it's like
told me. It's just
it's
I
like
don't.
mate rates and everything though. Like, if you're
Yeah,
my mate, why do you want a discounted? No, you should be supporting my business.
yeah. It's not even that. Like, I think,
No, that's a good point, but there's others as well.
yeah, I think there's a very expectant attitude in a certain generation within the car community of, you know, I'll tout your brand if I get this for free. And I go back to people and say, look, you've not ordered from us before, so you don't know what we're all about. You've not been around us at events, you've not spoken to us, those kind of things. Like, I don't know who you are. And it's not I don't know who you are as in you know one in the car scene. If I don't know you via a name on an order, and I recognize names on orders because I'm weirdly autistic. I'm not weirdly autistic, I am autistic. Uh, and stuff like that. But you get people who will just message you and you go, no, look, you don't know the brand. Have you got a proposal book? And they're like, well, I just want like 10% off. And you're like, well, if you're gonna do me a social media post based on our stuff, you should have a business proposal ready. It's
Mm.
it's that thing like me and Milton every year, and we haven't done it this year, and that's kind of my fault because I've had personal stuff going on. But
Dare you
every
have
year,
personal life?
Me and Milton revise his driver book every year so that he's got a PDF document he can send out to companies he wants to work with. And that's a really important thing because it shows a level of professionalism when you're working with someone. And in the nicest possible way to anybody that wants a sponsorship ever, you could be my best mate or whatever. If I'm not going to make more money than I'm going to spend on it, I'm not going to do it.
Because
Like,
that's just at the end of the day, that is bad business. Like, we've obviously got a car out in time attack this year, and before we even agreed to that, I was like, what's your proposal? What
yeah,
am I getting for it? And yeah, and it's just like he was like, oh, what? And I'm like, it's not this that what we do with our 4,000 square foot of unit or whatever, however big it is, it's massive.
yeah.
Like, we have to still be able to run the business.
Yeah, I mean,
But
we've all got bills to pay, and like as you know, I have a day job on top of running Violent Running. So
mm-hmm.
like, there are days where I don't sleep because I'm doing both things,
Yeah,
and kind of that's gotta I've got to be doing that for a reason. And one of the reasons I'm doing it is one day I would like to just play with stickers and play with race cars all day because I'm a 5-year-old.
isn't that the goal for like most of us? One day
Oh,
I just want to not have to work.
5 new
I want
subscribers on some social media just came in. That's what that bibbidi boop was.
Huh?
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where people think there's a lot of margin in stuff, and there isn't. By the time I've given away free shipping on every single order, right?
yeah.
Royal Mail is getting to the point where it's cheaper for me to send things tracked with every than it is to send things with Royal Mail now.
Although it probably would never turn up.
I've had one every problem ever with stuff we've
Maybe
shipped.
it's just a Norfolk thing then, because it's terrible down here.
Like we had one instance of a parcel supposedly being stepped on. But the packaging saved it because we've got the drawer of making a mess in the office that's just full of shredded pink and blue tissue paper that I pour the packets into and then stir by hand so you get a mixed. But it's little things like that I don't think people factor in, right? There's like there's boxes. I have to build a box up every time we ship an order. I have to then put all the packing material in. You don't pay for the box. You know, I don't
The
go,
labels.
yeah, all the stickers that go on, the label printer, there's the running costs, like, and they're just about covered on the 3D printer and the laser cutter. There's all these extra bits that go into running a brand. There's the website costs. Facebook advertising is a killer because if you're not using Facebook advertising and the algorithm decides it hates you because you put a swear word on a sticker once or twice or 20 times, you know, you literally we cannot rely on Facebook pushing our posts because the page is shadow banned because of the unfuck the scene sticker. And that whole sticker, the whole sticker, the whole philosophy of that sticker is like we go to shows these days and people are turning around and going, oh, that car's a piece of shit, and that car's a piece of shit, and that car's a piece of shit. Like you don't know what stage someone's at in a build project. The thing that really like cuts me deep to my core when I hear people say it is my car's not ready to go to shows. It is.
I mean, my car's definitely ready to go to shows because it doesn't have anything on it.
Yeah, but when it's got wheels and an engine,
Yeah.
right? And
If
an
it's on
ele
the road and it's driving, that's ready to go.
yeah,
That's I think you're only the time you're allowed to say that.
yeah, yeah. If it can move under its own power,
Or on a trailer like we took the 86 to mods
yeah,
last year.
yeah. As long as you can get it to the show and you can roll it about, then it's ready.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a perfect finished magazine quality build from back in the day. You know, it can be like there's people, and you see it in Formula G, right, Mills? The standard of car in Formula G is creeping up and 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 up. And that shouldn't be a barrier to entry to
But
something
it's
like,
not. There's also
yeah.
the street class. I think has got more drivers than the pro class,
Mm.
and they are people's daily drivers. They're taking out their work stuff because they've left it in there, putting it in their pit space, and then
Mm.
they're yeah, which we'll go over with John in a future episode.
Yeah. So we've got, you know, there's about 10, 11 guests we've already got lined up for this year.
Spoilers, sorry.
Which I think is going to be, you know, it's going to be a really cool way of doing the podcast. And there'll be like general chats around a theme. This is because it's the first episode. We're just chatting breeze. We were going to talk about going to Japan to buy cars, but sadly, Chris had the family thing pop up a little bit. So we're kind of winging it a bit. Hannah's got some really cool stuff in the workshop, which means there's no room for my cool stuff, which is disappointing.
Hopefully by the time mods comes,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll have 3 more spaces because we're not taking the 86 to mod Nats this year,
Okay.
which I'm really sad about. And anybody that saw it last year will have seen the level of work that it's had.
Yeah, just the welding quality on that alone is why I've decided to bring the 5 to you for its restoration work.
Which mods last year worked brilliantly for us because one of our customers that we have at the moment saw us at ModNat, saw the car, saw the level of build, and was like, finally, I found someone that's capable of making my dream come alive.
Yeah, because you get like you can use a mate's company for stuff, and I am no longer friends with the person who did the 5 last time because of how much of a bad job they did on my car.
The number of cars that we've had in here, and it's like, wow, people are actually letting people drive the cars, having been bodged so much. Like the one thing that I hate most is people scrimping on safety.
Yeah.
Like I'm all for, I get it that people don't have a super high-end budget, especially nowadays, but surely you can't put a price on safety.
No.
And we get so many people, like the other day I saw someone had 3 sets of spacers bolted like together And I'm like, why?
That's all right.
I
I've
mean,
seen that before.
I have bolt-ons with on the Stager. It's bolt-ons with like a 3 mil spacer on the back to get the exact adjustment I wanted.
This was like 15 mil bolt-ons, then 2 slip-on generic. I bought them from Halfords or wherever online, and then another one, and I was just like,
Why? Hang on.
like you've
Who
spent
need
hundreds of
who needs
pounds at that
like?
point on spacers. Why not just buy spacers or wheels that fitted to start with?
But that's
I mean, I have seen
who's
Daigo Sato
putting.
run 100 mil spacers, 250 mils bolted together on his, but that's a race car, so it doesn't count.
Like most race cars, out there run spacers. I have not got a problem with spacers. I have a problem with idiots running shit spacers. And I'm just like, somebody said to me, "Oh, can you not just put another 15 mil bolt?" Like I bought these from wherever, and I was like, I am not putting them on your car.
Did you just go to, was it Superformer that I got my custom?
Yeah, Performer is like one, like we use them all the time.
Yeah.
Or
Like
H&R, I know, is another good brand.
Performer are brilliant because you can have it customized to whatever thickness, whatever pattern. Do you want studs? Do you want bolts? Do you want whatever? Like,
Because that's how we did. That's how we got. That's how we got the hijack to fit normal wheels because it was the hijack was a really weird stud pattern.
yeah, it's just I don't know. I just maybe it's like the number of times that people come to us and I'm like, you do realize if you crash, your harnesses will kill you.
Yeah.
Or your cage that's, oh, I've got a cage. Well, you haven't because it's not bolted in. Like you have a cage just rattling around in your car.
No way.
Oh, honestly, if I could not write a book of horror stories about the things that I've seen.
I've seen cable tied eyelets and things like the toe straps. That's fun.
Yeah.
We had one of my friends, and I very very near. Well, I told him straight at a car show last year. He had a cage made out of exhaust tube.
What?
And it wasn't at the front of it, before I noticed the rest of the horrificness of it, I was like, wow, you've cut your dash out really nicely. Like you must have spent hours doing that. And he was like, oh no, it's just pushed on the top. I was like, what? And then I looked at the rest of the cage and I was like,
they just butted it up to the top of the dash, so it's just put.
And the reason it looked really flush is because obviously the dash had a little bit of give, and I was just like, oh. I was like, I wish I could like take your car off the road.
It's that thing though. Like I've had it when I'm buying like when I was like going to do the engine work on the 5 that's still got to happen. I also at that point need to stick Willwood 4 pots on every single corner of that car. And I had people going, well, you're just being a brand whore. I'm not being a brand whore. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Like
You should buy some extras just in case, and I will look after them on my car just to make sure they're like.
Make sure they work. Yeah.
I'll put some on my car as well. Actually, now we're talking about it, maybe we just need to do like a bulk buy then.
Group buy from Willwood. Willwood, if you're watching, get at us.
Especially when we want them for the 86 as well. So like, come on, where's your
parts.
sponsorship, Willwood?
Yeah, Freaky Parts do the kit.
Stuart Mulch. I might have said his surname wrong.
Can't remember his name, but yeah, Freaky Parts. I've got some good bets from them for the 5 over the years, and it's my Takata harnesses and my harness bar in the 5. It's all decent quality kit. I want a Cusco 7-point in there when I'm done with everything else because.
How do you do a 7-point?
So on the Cusco 7-point for the MX-5, you've got front footwell behind the driver's seat.
Oh, I thought you were talking about harness.
No, and then there's a 7th point that shoots down the middle of the car to the transmission tunnel.
Have you seen the climbing frame that's in the 86? Because that's the only way I can describe that cage. The
Yeah.
cage in the 86, I'm sure there's more bars in that than there is like a metal shop. It's phenomenal, that cage.
I mean, there's a certain point where I have to accept that when the five's finished, it's the thing that I'm going to die in.
I'm getting buried in mine.
Hannah looks really concerned that I'm so going to die in the MX-5.
Hopefully it'll be down to your own idiocy rather than the
330 brake, right? It should be 330 brake when I press the big red nitrous button, right? In a car that weighs less than a ton. If it goes wrong,
pretty much the same as what I'm going for with the Baleno. I'm going for like 350.
I just need to turn my boost
now,
up.
remember, I've got shitty reaction time now. Like you can see it as well, because Milton's ability to run a tree. Milton is now faster than me on reaction time for a tree.
Problem
And it's
is,
really
the
annoying.
Formula G tree is different to the drag racing tree.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's a different. So I can predict, and in the drag racing world, there's like a gentleman's agreement not to guess the light or jump the light. You
Yeah.
go before it goes green, but because you haven't moved, and by the time the transmission, all that, blah blah blah, so you stay your green light still.
Yeah.
Like a gentleman's agreement not to guess the light and go when it actually is green. In Formula G, yeah,
But what you're
you get.
saying is all those times I've lost on reaction time tests to you, you've been cheating.
We've never raced.
I've told you can have a race as soon as my car's back. I know you're up. Don't let me lose, because then I'll just say it was all JD Motorsport's fault. I'm joking. I wouldn't do that to you.
That's fine. My car will go there as well then.
all even playing fields. Tell you what, I'll throw you in a driver coach for the pair of you as well. Then there you
How much is this costing us now? Another bag of cash, right? I think the general, I think you're getting the there's a drop off in the car community of like that it's cool to like cars people. I don't know how to describe them. The clout chasers. There you go. That's what I was looking for. Like I think we're getting back to the older way of doing the community now. Like it's all local clubs for local people.
Yeah, 100%. There's a couple of really good groups down near me.
Yeah.
And it feels like I've gone back like 10 years.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Because it always used to be about who's been on the biggest stand. There was like a good solid 5 years where it was like, who's been on the biggest stand? And you're like, great.
I think that can be a good way though, because like if Vam suddenly got on, I don't know, like Jap Fest and was on like the eBay stand, that's a name I can recognize.
Oh no, I mean like volume of cars.
Number of people.
Yeah.
There was one on Live at Snetterton a few years ago that had like 114 cars on stand. And I'm like, can you tell me every single person that was on stand with you?
Yeah, and that's I would rather go with like we will randomly invite customers to come on the stand with us, but we've paid for your ticket. Do you want to come hang out?
Yeah.
And that to me is a really fun way of doing things, because I don't do trade stand at shows because you get free shipping on everything, right? So it's just and trade stands at shows are not cheap.
No.
I don't understand why it's so expensive. Surely if they get 100, like 30 people in, or I don't understand the maths, but yeah, why?
Because large corporations like Kelsey haven't clocked onto the fact that if we all decided that we're not spending 50 quid on a show ticket, then they wouldn't have a show. I'm not saying we rise up and rebel against our corporate overlords, but we should do that.
But you've got people like Mark from Mod Nats that I think has hit the ground running with mods. Like, there's not many other car shows that have been going as long and as successfully as Mod Nats has been. And
Mark's a total legend.
Mods is one of my favorite weekends. I get to see people from all over the country that I very rarely get to see, and it's just a really good weekend. And Mark is not as money grabbing as a lot of the other shows are.
Yeah, and I bet you it's still a profitable show.
Yes.
Yeah, you can guarantee Mark is making money on a
Yes.
2-day event. And more
It
importantly,
wouldn't still be going. If it wasn't profitable, it would have died years ago.
but he's doing that on a 2-day venue hire. So it's
Right.
not a single day. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got 2-day venue hire. You've got
Insurance.
arguably fewer traders than most of the other like Jap Fest and stuff like that. Depending on the year and if Jap Fest decides to tell people they can't turn up.
Or charge you an extortionate amount of money to do stuff.
Yeah. So you've got all that stuff. But the reality is like one of the things that I really love about going to Modnets is just the like last year I had a little potter about and like I could just chat to anyone on stand and no one's giving you weird looks for like, why are you filming my car?
Yeah.
Filming your car because it's got my company's merch on it, most likely.
Or it's just cool. Like, I get that there is quite a lot of sheep mentality in life in general, but especially in the car scene, that like you've got your typical Fiestas, you've got your N2 competitions, and you've got all of your typical clout chasing cars that, and I'm just like, yeah, it is true. Like everything that you see is like, oh look, it's got air ride and cool wheels. Bet it's still rotten as hell underneath though.
Don't shout at me like that. Don't come at me like that. I feel attacked. My cars are rotten underneath though because they don't underseal cars properly in Japan. And I get too excited to drive them to remember to underseal them every year in the UK.
I've never undersealed my car.
Yeah, but yours hasn't been on a public road for how long, Melts?
5 years. But it's rusty as hell. You can put your hand through the floor.
Really?
Not quite the seal. Not quite.
I was about to say, can I get an
seal...
undercar shot through the passenger seat one day, just with hanging one of the cameras through the forehole?
Nah, the seal's starting to go. The outer seal. It's a race car. It's got full roll cages all tied together. If you're
driving a 20-year-old Japanese car and it doesn't have rust, someone's replaced bits of it with fiberglass. Facts.
Well, it's like that's the whole reason I'm building mine, is because it had a rust patch in the floor.
Yeah.
Directly where my cage plate would need to be. And I was like, I'm not welding that up because I might as well weld it up with a cage plate. Well, weld it up and then put a cage plate in it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to weld up a hole for 6 months later. I'm going to cut it out again. So it's just got quite extreme, all because of one hole.
Down the rabbit hole, big time.
Big time.
It's fun when you do. That's the best bit of any build, though, right? It's like me and the Spike. I'm just going to get these seat covers from Japan. That's all I'm going to do to it. And then while I was browsing Yahoo Auctions, I found Tanabe's chassis bracer. And I was like, why does this even exist for a fridge? For a toaster on wheels? Why? So then I bought it all. And now I can't get the right size drop links for it. So it's getting white line adjustables.
I mean, I'd put white lines on it anyway, but yeah.
Yeah. It's getting all the new brake. I mean, it's got Dixel. It's getting Dixel grooved and vented discs. Because I have discovered another thing. There may well be enough room for the supercharger that fits the L15 and the CRZ in the engine bay.
I wanted to supercharge the B204 and I got talked out of it.
By who? Clearly did not. You clearly did not talk to me about this, Hannah. You've been speaking to the. You don't need that kind of negativity.
Well, this is what I said. I was like, I don't want turbo lag. I know that I could put NOS in it, whatever, like we used to do on the PS for stopping turbo lag. But I was like, oh, do I really need a supercharged 4-wheel drive? Maybe I do need a supercharged 4-wheel drive hot hatch. Maybe that is the direction we need to go. I might have
got a fine from Birmingham City Council again.
What for? Parking or driving.
Probably forgetting to pay the CAS charge one day.
Do
The
you-
worst bit is the Spike is a Honda Jazz, basically underneath, and it's ULEZ compliant in London, so it should be Clean Air Zone compliant. But Birmingham won't accept it unless I get a letter from Honda Japan to say that it is Euro 5 rated, Euro 4 rated petrol.
Well, why didn't you make one?
Can you not just put a sticker on the back that says identifies as a Jazz?
No.
Why
No,
don't
I
you just
wrote, I
make
wrote them a very long email about it and chassis codes and stuff, and they just replied, "Well, we don't care."
Why don't you just print a letter, put
Mm.
some tea bags on it to make it look old? So it's come from Japan.
I think I know what it was. I had to detour through Birmingham the other week because the M6 was that static, and I think I might have accidentally taken the Stagia through the CAD zone.
I mean, you can't really argue that one then.
But did you just drive it for it really quickly?
No,
Super quick.
Like, sorry, I shouldn't be here. Sorry.
I did give it a blah 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 for a little kid that was very excited when he saw it.
That's a good thing.
That's like
That-
helping the community. They should have sent you a letter of thanks.
Yeah, it's either that or I've got a speeding ticket, but it's from Birmingham City Council, so I suspect.
Not if you're driving.
Suspect
I'm
Birmingham
having a
City.
speeding ticket.
Well, I've got a clean record, thank you very much.
Remember, he's a granddaddy. He doesn't drive that fast.
Grandbam.
Grandbam. No. Grandbam.
Oh,
See out the smoke. Bam with a Zimmer frame.
I think that's a company trailer if ever there was one.
and a walking stick pointing at people doing
Yeah.
an annoying thing.
We should film that as the new YouTube summary ad. Melts.
You need to be in a Temu Batman outfit.
Yeah, done. It's gonna look
I'm gonna-
so bad on my fat ass.
I'm gonna find you one. I love Timu.
You're not gonna find anything on Temu that's gonna fit me, mate.
That's the
I'll buy
idea.
7 of them and sew them together then.
That's the idea, Bam.
So yeah, so this has been our first episode of chatting shit with the new podcast team. Hannah will be back on multiple episodes in future, including the rather generically titled "Women's in Motorsport."
I've just typed in Batman costumes.
Right? No, no.
That's Spider-Man.
I was looking at the other one, Milton, and saying no. The one that is blurred out in the podcast episode. So thanks to everyone for watching. If you want to hear us chat some more breeze, subscribe to the podcast on Spotify or YouTube.
When's this being
more
released?
content. I don't know when I've edited it.
Back on.
Yeah, I'll probably
You
sit
don't-
and try and edit at the weekend.
Do you not
Oh.
have it done?
Mon-
What time is it? You could have this done by tomorrow. Come on. What else have you got to do?
I need sleep.
Ah,
I need sleep. I'm running
Sleep
on
and
2
skating.
hours sleep.